big game Saturday, the Gators against Tennessee. Whether their new quarterback helped lead them to victory. Plus, a fire lieutenant and his girlfriend been arrested on fraud charges. Why Kissimmee Fire's chief decided to fire this lieutenant before the charges actually happened. And an avid golfer just turned 100 years old this week. How the golf course where he plays is celebrating with him. Thank you for staying with us live at 5:30 on Spectrum News 13. I'm Sharon Stone. Those stories are just ahead. First, certified meteorologist David Hecker joins us now live, and no complaints from me today.
Yeah, pretty nice weather here. Almost a taste of dry season, Sharon, and this is going to continue, it looks like, as we move into Sunday. Only concern is a bit of a wind out there, and we have seen a couple light sprinkles trying to get going on Storm Tracker 13 live Doppler. A couple cells roll through the Hunters Creek area, and now watching a little bit more light sprinkles, eastern orange, northeastern sections of Osceola County. But I think overall our rain chances very, very low here as we head through the rest of the evening hours. So don't even mess with the umbrella if you're heading to the attractions tonight. Surf forecast for tomorrow, different story. Poor conditions and easing northeasterly swell. And one of the bigger storylines again is going to be that rip current threat. It remains high tomorrow, so swimming strongly discouraged in the Atlantic. You can head to the beach, that's fine. Just don't get much past, say, ankle or knee deep into the waters, because the high surf and the rip currents could take you out very quickly away from land. Water temperatures still holding in the low 80s. I'll be back. Take a close look at those temperatures hour by hour for Sunday, and still a lot to track in the tropics. So coming up on your weather on the ones.
An update this evening to a Spectrum News 13 watchdog investigation. Our watchdog team obtained documents from Kissimmee police that reveal new details in a theft investigation. It involves a former Kissimmee Fire lieutenant. We're now learning that Kenneth Kurth and his girlfriend Chelsea Brockenbrough are accused of using tens of thousands of dollars from the Kissimmee Professional Firefighters Union bank account to pay their bills for several months. Both were arrested on fraud charges. Watchdog reporter Curtis McLeod first uncovered details of the case, and the fire chief gave him a specific reason why he decided to fire his lieutenant long before these charges came down.
Former Kissimmee Fire Lieutenant Kenneth Kurth and his girlfriend Chelsea Brockenbrough are now facing 2 fraud charges. We can show you Brockenbrough's booking photo, but per state law, since Kurth is a former firefighter, his photo is exempt from public record. Kurth lost his job with Kissimmee Fire back in December after an internal investigation found he misused nearly $40,000 in union funds. A big portion of that money paid by Kurth's fellow firefighters who trusted him to put the money to good use.
I still have a hard time comprehending what happened and stuff. It just didn't go with the guy that I thought I knew.
According to this administrative investigation our watchdog team first obtained late last year, Kurth, a 10-plus year veteran of the Kissimmee Fire Department and former IAFF Local 4208 union president, told other union leaders that his girlfriend mixed up their debit cards and that they'd pay it back, but that check bounced. Documents go on to show Kurth later said his girlfriend stored the union card data and used it to buy things online. Kissimmee Fire Chief Jim Walls spoke with me just days after firing Kurth, telling us why he didn't wait until charges were filed.
It just affected his relationship and his ability to work here, especially as a lieutenant and a supervisor in this department. He's just lost a lot of trust that's built up and that's needed, to be in this organization.
Chief Wall says while Kurth did not misuse taxpayer dollars, his alleged mishandling of union funds is considered a violation of city administrative rules and regulations.
For the Watchdog team, I'm Curtis McLeod, Spectrum News 13.
Well, both Kurth and Brockenbrough have posted bond. The union president released a statement saying the Kissimmee professional firefighters risk their lives every day for the citizens of Kissimmee and were taken advantage of by people we trust. Our members pay dues, expecting their hard-earned money to be used appropriately, and every one of our members is a victim here. The Florida Gators hosted the Tennessee Volunteers this afternoon. All eyes on the quarterback position after the team lost Felipe Franks for the season last week. Spectrum News 13 sports reporter Pat Welter joins us now live from Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. So Pat, how did the new starter look?
Sharon, this was definitely the kind of thing they write sports movies about. I mean, Kyle Trask had not started a game at quarterback since his freshman year of high school. So Felipe Franks goes down with the injury last week, and Trask finally gets his chance today versus Tennessee. Trask actually coming in that game versus Kentucky, leading the Gators to a win, but this one today versus Tennessee, never in doubt. First drive of the game, Kyle Trask leads them right down the field, finds Kyle Pitts for the touchdown. After that, Florida never looked back. Now, sure, the day was not perfect for Trask. He did have 2 interceptions and a fumble, but you got to have a little bit of adversity in the movie script or else nobody's going to believe it. So the Gators beat Tennessee 34-3.
It's been a while since I had a start, like everyone knows, but, I was prepared. And, the coaches do a great job of preparing us for every game, and I'm really proud of the way our team played, and, I'm really proud, we're 4-0, and, that's huge when you're playing the SEC, so on to the next one.
An impressive first chapter for Kyle Trask at quarterback. I asked him if he felt like he was living in a movie. He laughed and said, it's definitely surreal. When you're out there, it is so loud, but once you get dialed in, silence. So take your pick, Varsity Blues, remember the Titans. This movie is just getting started. In Gainesville, Pat Welter, Spectrum News 13.
Bartow Golf Course celebrated its 100th birthday today. One of its most frequent golfers was there to celebrate his 100th birthday as well. Spectrum News 13 Stephanie Claytor was there for this momentous occasion.
Herbert Dixon turned 100 years old Monday. You couldn't tell by looking at him. He still walks around the golf course and even has a cell phone.
Living day by day. Staying out of trouble. Don't smoke. Don't drink. And try to eat the proper foods. And that's it.
He golfs daily.
It's very boring sitting around the house looking at TV. I don't want that. So I choose golf, and that's it.
He scored 8 holes in one in his lifetime, including one Wednesday. He's been playing since he was 14.
I used to play professional in the back league, but during that stage, I won over 50 golf tournaments. Coming up, I wasn't allowed to play in the PGA. You wasn't allowed. A lot of time you wasn't allowed on the golf course.
He used to caddy as a teen and said even here at the Bartow Golf Course, he was only allowed to play on it once a week until the course desegregated. But now, decades later, it's a different story. People of all races came out to celebrate his birthday and play with him.
I was born and raised here at this golf course. I've been playing out for 40 years. He's always been a role model to me and helped me out through my younger years, and he's always been a great role model to all of us.
During Saturday's 4-man scramble tournament, a spokesman from the National Black Golf Hall of Fame read a proclamation in Dixon's honor. He was an inductee in 1998. And the only thing that was missing was another hole-in-one. On top of all of his other awards, Herbert Dixon was also inducted into the Polk County Sports Hall of Fame 2 months ago. In Bartow, Stephanie Claytor, Spectrum News.
And Herbert also told us for his birthday, he went to a party and danced the night away. Well, over the past 30 years, the richest 1% of Americans saw their wealth grow by nearly 300%, while the poorest 50% saw no growth. House Democrats voted to raise the federal minimum wage in July, and they're pushing to make it easier for unions to organize. House Budget Chair John Yarmuth called a hearing to put pressure on Republicans to adopt measures he believes will better the lives of struggling Americans.
Republican friends like to talk about, with some justification, the expanding social safety net programs that we have. Well, the more you bring people out of poverty into a sustainable income and reduce inequality, the fewer people have to rely on those programs.
Republicans push back entirely on how Democrats frame this argument. They say fewer Americans are living in poverty and describe President Trump's policies like the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act as part of a larger pro-growth vision the country needs. 4 people are dead after a tour bus crash in Utah. We have aerial video of the crash. Rescue crews and medical helicopters responded to help more than 30 people who were injured. The cause of the crash is still unknown and under investigation. Law enforcement is looking for a suspect who they say shot a police officer in Chicago. This happened Saturday morning on Chicago's south side. We have video of the scene. No word on what led to the incident. Police are searching for 45-year-old Michael Blackman, who is considered armed and dangerous. He is also wanted for shooting a woman. For the 16th consecutive week, protesters are in the streets of Hong Kong today. This started as a peaceful march with thousands chanting and singing, but quickly devolved into a standoff between protesters and police. Police fired tear gas. Protesters lit self-made barricades on fire. Police have warned more radical protesters to, quote, stop illegal acts and leave the area. General Motors says a recall of its Chevrolet Trax will be expanded. The original recall covered the 2017 to 2019 models. It's now been expanded to include 2015 and 2016 models. GM says a problem with the suspension weld could cause steering issues and lead to a crash. If you have the Chevrolet Trax, GM dealers should be able to inspect your vehicle and decide if a replacement is needed. You can go to the webpage for the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to find out if your vehicle is affected. 5:41, let's go back to weather on the one. Certified meteorologist David Hecker joins us now live. He made me realize something. It's the low humidity that's making it feel so nice.
And moisture's the difference here in the state of Florida, Sharon. That's exactly what we're dealing with out there. If you were outside today, you know, wow, it doesn't feel that bad today. Well, that's because the dew points, the measurement of moisture, has slid back into the low and mid 60s. And just that slight downtick has meant it's been a very nice Saturday out there. Live here in the Ruin Ziffer Cam at the Ocean Deck Restaurant out at Daytona Beach. You'll have that high surf, a high rip current threat here heading into Sunday. 81 currently out at Daytona International, east-northeasterly wind at 15 miles per hour. You can see a lot of sunshine here, not much to track in Volusia and Flagler counties on Storm Tracker 13 live Doppler. Maybe a little bit of blue or a little bit of sprinkle activity showing up there to the south of Edgewater. So overall, going to keep things pretty dry across the area. I think the best chance for some light rain may end up being kind of in eastern sections of Orange, eastern sections of Osceola County as we head into the next, say, hour or so. But even there, we're talking about enough to maybe put some dots on the pavement. This is not going to be your typical full-fledged shower or thunderstorm that we normally deal with here heading into September. Let's talk temperatures. We head into the overnight in Futurecast 7 o'clock. As Sharon mentioned, just a really nice night, and that's going to continue if you have plans ahead of the attractions, maybe going to be out and about this evening. It's going to be a nice evening to do so with 7 o'clock numbers, upper 70s and low 80s. Not too bad at midnight either. Temperatures here back into the mid and upper 70s. And by the daybreak hours on Sunday, beautiful start to the day. I think many areas along I-75 level off into the upper 60s, low to mid 70s for the majority of us, including in Metro Orlando. And tomorrow, nice weather continues. By 9 a.m., temperatures back into the mid and upper 70s. You can see at lunchtime, numbers holding into the low to mid 80s. Keep in mind the average high temperature this time of year, upper 80s and low 90s. So I think again tomorrow will be a little bit underneath that with some 90s maybe popping up into parts of Sumter and Marion counties. Big national weather story tonight is in parts of the Midwest. Got some showers and thunderstorms stretching from Illinois all the way back through Kansas. I'll be back. Head off to the tropics. Latest update on Jerry and 2 more systems that are organizing. That's coming up in less than 10. Right now, Storm Tracker 13, live Doppler radar.
It's got a willingness to want to be great.
A man of many trades who plays on both sides of the ball. His coach says he's got what it takes to go all the way. What keeps him going in today's Athlete of the Week. Thank you for watching Spectrum News 13.